Hi guys, welcome back to Kelly's Chaos. Today's video I'm going to make the dessert that I was talking about, one of them out of the AIP cookbook I shared last week. I'm going to make the coconut fried apples. It is such a easy recipe, but it's AIP compliant, non-inflammatory or anti-inflammatory. It's great for a dessert. It's great to put over ice cream or over coconut, or excuse me, Greek yogurt or even coconut yogurt, anything like that. But it was also really good for overnight oats and for our yogurt that we had in the morning when I had it left over. It was really good. So I'm going to share that recipe today with you guys, and it's really, really good. But first, I wanted to kind of tell you something kind of funny that happened this weekend. We had a friend over and we were at the dinner table, and my husband looked over and he's like, "Hey, are we going to have a really happy fall this year?" And it's kind of like, what do you mean? And he goes, "I was just wondering if we were going to have a really happy fall." And our friend just looked at him and he goes, "Look at the leaves on Kelly's fall decorations that she got." And my friend did and started laughing. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, the house of ill repute." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I look over and the innocent me looks, and I am completely missing what they're talking about. So they're like, "Look at the leaves." I did. I'm like, "They're fall leaves." Well, these are the fall leaves on one of my decorations. This is the fall leaf on the other decoration. If you can see that, that is not a normal, I don't know, maple leaf. So they were laughing at me. So I asked my daughter, my 15, almost 16-year-old daughter, and I'm like, "Hey, Sadie, have you checked out the fall decorations that I got?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Did you look at the leaves?" And she goes, "Yeah, Mom, it's marijuana," but I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, am I the only one who missed this? Am I the only one?" So these were off of Amazon. Cute little tier thing that I got, just trying to do a little decorating, figuring it out, you know, kind of trying to get in the spirit of fall. But yeah, the house of ill repute is now what I've been known for my friend. So I just thought it was kind of funny to share with you, since, you know, my husband's the one who saw it. He was doing some dishes and he's like, "Huh, those look like funny maple leaves." So, but let's get cooking the recipe, the fried coconut apples. Like I said, it's super easy. I use Honeycrisp apples. I use Granny Smith apples. And you need coconut oil, coconut sugar. You need, excuse me, I put cinnamon in mine just to give it some little flavor. You don't have to have that, but you do. And I will share the recipe. I'll have it up on the screen that you can screenshot it or save it. So, but let's get to cooking. So I got my ingredients. I got my apples all cleaned. I got my coconut sugar, my coconut oil, my cinnamon, and my vanilla. So I'm just gonna peel the apples and peel it all myself, apparently, and try not to take as much like of the actual apple meat as you can. I haven't done it with the peel on. I'm sure that you probably could if you wanted to. I just haven't done that. Whenever I'm peeling an apple, I always think about Sleepless in Seattle with Meg Ryan's character when she's peeling the apple and she does it in one shot. And the little boy's on the, well, the husband, Tom Hanks, is on the radio station saying, you know, his wife could peel the apple in one shot, in one peel. I've done that a couple of times, but normally I don't. I'm not that talented with apple peeling. So this is a really good recipe. And when I was being really faithful to the AIP diet, their eating plan, I did not cheat. So this was a good dessert to have when I wanted something sweet, because it's sweet, but it's not like having a donut or candy or anything like that. So now you're going to cut your apples. And if there's a little bit of the skin left, then that's okay. you're just going to take them. The recipe calls for you to slice them. I liked it better chunked, and so did my family. But you can do whatever you like, because it worked both ways, but I liked them chunked. And I do have some other little tools that I use when I'm chopping a lot, because especially if I'm in a flare-up, my depth perception, I guess is what I'll call it, is a little off, and I can cut myself easily. So I got some really neat gloves to help me with that. And I'll show those to you a little bit later, or probably in another video, because I plan on cooking, more of the recipes and sharing the recipes out of the cookbook, so it's edible, good food. Because sometimes you get cookbooks and you're like, that's not the greatest recipe. There's some in here that we haven't tried, but we tried a very good a good portion of them, if I can talk right now. So as you can see, I'm just chopping them up. It's a rough chop. You can make them bigger or smaller, however you can slice them. Like I said, that's what the recipe calls for. But after making it, I found that I liked it better chunked. So got all of our apples. And this is just kind of how easy it is. I'm going to get a bowl. If I can lift up I don't have any nails, but sometimes they don't work with me. So put your apples in there. And I'll give you the recipe that has all the measurements, but I kind of been a measure my own little way kind of person. So that was the coconut oil. And there's the coconut sugar. I just sprinkle it on. And just toss it up. And I add a little bit more coconut sugar, because like I said, this is used as a dessert. That's how I've been using it most of the time. So I want a little bit more of that. And then I just add a splash, probably a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon of vanilla. And then the cinnamon. I have my Cinnamon Plus. I know that I should probably get rid of this because they don't sell it anymore, but this is like my favorite cinnamon blend of all time. And you just mix this all together, get all the apples coated in it, and the mixture. And this is what it looks like. I have an induction cooktop, so put yours on medium heat. And I'm adding just a little more coconut oil into the pan. Gonna let that heat up a little bit. My stovetop being an induction, it heats up relatively quick. You can see because it's already starting to move the oil around. And then you just add the apples in. And you can cook these for however long you want, to whatever texture you want it. You can leave them more firm. You can make them softer. You just keep cooking them until you get to your desired texture. I've done it where I've left them a little bit firmer, I've left them a little bit softer. It all depends if I was being patient by going softer, or if I wanted something thin, then I would leave them a little bit firmer. But it smells like a stovetop apple pie between the cinnamon and the vanilla and the apples. If you hear doggies in the background, I apologize. We put the dogs out and they're letting us know that they're ready to come in. If you guys could smell this, oh my gosh, it smells so good. This is one of my favorite things to do, and it's quick and easy. And I haven't done it in forever, and I don't know why, because it's a super easy, delicious recipe. And I've done it with pears too, and I like the pears. My daughter, my husband like the apples better, but I wanted to try it with the pears, and I did that. So you could do pears, you could do apples and pears. But I wanted to give you guys an actual real life look at some of the recipes, because the cookbook's not expensive, but it's an investment, and you just want to know if the recipes are good and how easy. You saw how easy this recipe was. It's peeling, cutting up some apples, adding some coconut oil, some coconut sugar, and the vanilla and the cinnamon. On the AIP diet, they don't use nutmeg, they use mace. The nutmeg, the nut itself, could be inflammatory, but the husk of the nutmeg, which is called mace, is not. But it still tastes like nutmeg. But it's a powder that you can get. Like if you get ground nutmeg, you can get ground mace, and it's M-A-C-E. I did not know what that was until I was watching This Crazy Life actually do one of the recipes out of the cookbook, and she used mace, and I've never heard of it until that point. But the cinnamon and the coconut sugar and the oil just starts caramelizing a little bit. They're getting softer. It smells so good. You just let them sit for a little bit just to kind of cook down. I want to try to make homemade applesauce too one day. I saved a recipe for that. I haven't done it yet. So that was the anti-inflammatory coconut fried apples. And as you can see, this is so good. And I sped up the video so you didn't have to go through the whole silence in me cooking it. I cooked them for about 10 minutes. You could probably cook them 15-20 minutes depending on how soft you want them. But they are so good. And if you could just smell these. They smell amazing. It's a stovetop apple pie just without the crust. And so in the beginning, no ice cream or cream or anything like that for the AIP, but it was just a perfect dessert. And you could put it over coconut yogurt. You could have it by itself. We had extras, so I put it in the refrigerator, and we'll add that to overnight oats, or something to that effect in the mornings, because it won't go to waste. But it is an amazing recipe. It's really good when you have a sweet tooth and you're really trying to be good and stick to the plan, because you don't want to set yourself up to fail. And that's always been my problem, is I go and go and go, and then I just get to the point that I give up on myself. So, but this was, again, the coconut sugar fried apples, and it is really, really, really good. So thank you guys for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to just build a community of support, motivation, encouragement for those with anti-inflammatory disorders, MS, Hashimoto's, any of those, people who suffer from it, and also caregivers and just our support system. So, but thank you guys again for joining me. And, my little motto that I keep harassing my husband for every day is, today is a good day to have a good day. And it is. Every single day that we're up and moving, that we're up and breathing, is a good day to have a good day. I wish you guys have an amazing week, and thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, subscribe, share. Let's grow this community, because I'm here for me, I'm here for you, and I'm going to do a ton more things. And like I said, I am going to do some more videos from the cookbook, because I really want you guys to see some of the recipes and just how good they are. So, but thank you for joining me, and I'm going to eat my little apples over here, and I love you guys, and have a great day. Bye.